Hi, my name is Anthony Bonanno, and this is my project in Portfolio 4 NPC Level. So let's just get right into it. This is at the start here. This is my the safe area, and if we come up here and go into this room here, it is a room with a bunch of giant worms in it. So let's just avoid those. Um, so we come over here, and there's a crossroad. If we go down here, it leads to a dead end with a giant worm. So we don't want that. So we want to come up over here and progress with the level. So this room, there's the giant worm. I was gonna say this room should have a giant worm in it, but they're up at the top. Um, in this room, there's two more giant worms, three actually. One from over here somehow made their way over there. So now if we just come up and around over here, we can make it to another room. And in this room, there should be another giant worm. There he is. I don't know why they're all in the corners all of a sudden. This is weird. But yeah, this is the end of the level, and yep, that's it. So what I did for Trello is I made a basic checklist, of course. I completed the level design document, started building the level, and then finished the level. Transfer the giant worm and its code over into the level and did the same with a playable character. I used Days L assets for getting the character, um, test to make sure everything is working properly, add any necessary changes with the level, fix any bugs, and create a video, which I'm doing right now, and then upload everything. And the level TRCs are explained in the level design document. So the level name is the sewers. That's the most applicable area that I could think of for a giant worm. It's inside and underground, of course. How you win the level is to get through the sewers, but if you kill all the giant worms, you might get something extra for it. I wasn't really sure what the size here meant, but I'm assuming that these are valid enough for that. I don't really know. Anyway, for items, we have switches and containers. Now, what I wanted to do with the level was have it so that you had to pull a switch in order to actually progress into a further room. But of course, I'm not a master coder and I can't really do that. And containers that hold items in them, so health and money, stuff like that. How you get into the sewers is that you have to fall through a hole. To exit, you have to get to the end of all of the rooms, and it leads to another map. The NPC in the sewers is the giant worm, and there's 11 giant worms in total. And the perch view range location is immediately when the player falls down into the hole. So, what this level is used for is basically as a side area to obtain a few collectibles. I didn't really want to make like a main area, so I think a side area with, a couple treasure chests might be good for this. Um, Area environment is underneath the town or castle, as I've said. Event triggers is switches, interactions with giant worms, and the giant worm's behavior is random. The narrative for the level is that the player finds themselves in the sewers of the town, investigates it for secret treasure, because, again, I meant it to be a side area and not a main area. And the theme's motif is the dark, dank, and slimy. So now let's get into the code. In addition to the code from last week's assignments, basically what I did here was just add one of Dazel's player characters, so the test controller and the status collision, all that stuff. That was not made by me. That was made by Kevin Acosta from Full Sail Online. And the cam zone is another thing that I used. Is That's what the camera is. It follows you throughout the entire level, and that was it that's the only things that I used from Days Out assets. So I hope you enjoyed my NPC level.